This item is conceptually broken, because it gives defense and offense at the same time. Also, its potential gold efficiency is just insane, because it could increase damage of all your teammates. This item is used by tanks, fighters and mages. I'm talking about Abyssal Mask. Its low price and utility passive that increases damage of all teammates by removing part of enemy's MR suggests that Abyssal Mask was designed for tank supports to help AP champions take down enemy tanks and fighters that have a lot of MR. It's a good item to counter tanks because it removes 30% of their MR, and if you're playing support you will do a lot of impact, even if you just stick to targets with a lot of MR and let AP carriers take care of them. Potential gold efficiency of this item is just insane, because unlike Magic Pen, it removes enemies MR. So it's like all of your teammates have 30% Magic Pen. This item really helps to fight against champions with a lot of MR. But there is a huge problem with it. Abyssal Mask removes enemies MR and gives some MR to you, which means that you deal more damage because enemies have less MR, and it's harder to kill you, because you get more MR. Instead of being an item that counters tanks and fighters with a lot of MR, Abyssal Mask is being used by those tanks and fighters. They get defense and offense at the same time, which is kinda broken. Amumu builds it very often, and it gives him HP, MR and allows him to deal more damage, since his targets have less MR. So Abyssal Mask basically gives better version of Magic Pen, because it doesn't just increase Amumu's damage, it removes part of target's MR. I think that this item is conceptually broken, because tanks shouldn't get that much defense and damage from the same item, and whole point of being a tank is to be tanky and deal less damage. But this item gives damage to the tanks. Amumu is broken because he abuses all the items that give damage and defense at the same time. Liandry's Torment gives him % HP damage and HP. By the way, if you wanna know why Liandry's is broken, check out this video. Sunfire Aegis gives him armor and magic damage. And finally, Abyssal Mask gives him MR and Magic Pen. He has highest win rate when he builds Abyssal Mask and Sunfire Aegis, which proves that items that give defense and offense at the same time are broken. Udyr prefers Jacques Show as his third item, but still, he builds Abyssal Mask frequently. Items shouldn't be judged by difference in win rate, especially when it's so small, but still his high pick rate builds that have highest win rate include Abyssal Mask. I think that tanks shouldn't get defense and offense at the same time, and changes should be made. Now let's talk about possible solutions. Abyssal Mask was designed to be purchased by supports to help AP carriers deal with tanky targets. Problem is that it's being used by tanks to deal more damage to everyone. I think that possible solution is to change its passive to active, so you have to choose target that you want to steal MR from. It's kinda like Anathema's chains. It perfectly fits original purpose to conquer targets with a lot of MR, and it would become more balanced. Another solution is to change its passive so it applies marks, and if your ally deals damage, he ignores 30% of target's MR. Again, it fits original purpose of this item, and with this change it would feel more like a support item, because you don't deal all the damage yourself, and you should play with your AP carry to get the most out of this item. But this solution solves the problem only partially, and I like first rework a lot more. I don't wanna be that guy, but I'm so close to 250 subs, so please subscribe.